Kugan Cassius for iFull TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Cardiff at the Principality Stadium here, joined by Eddie Hearn, looking very tanned.
Yes, I've been on a stag weekend in Mykonos.
I know.
Mental place. Oh, jeez.
Yeah?
Kugan, apparently your bumhole's still over there from an interview you did with KUBRAT-PULEV.
Do you know what? I tried to banter with Pulev, right?
I heard he wants to chin you.
He took it as banter.
He's a nutter, you know that, don't you?
I kind of said I was a street fighter back in my day as well. He's up for it.
He's a nutter.
He's up for it. Tickets look to sell out tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we've done all the Fight Pass tickets immediately. I'm expecting to sell out tomorrow. I mean, just incredible numbers from Anthony Joshua on a massive night of boxing. And a good fight in KUBRAT-PULEV. And I know after the Klitschko fight, people say, oh, Pulev. Pulev is a top 5 heavyweight in anyone's books. Number 3 with the WBC, obviously number 1 challenger with the IBF, number 3 with the WBO. But if you don't like any of the governing bodies, number 3 with the Ring magazine as well, behind Joshua and Wilder. So this is a good, tough fight. I think in this fight it's more about getting down back to business after April 29th. You know, it'd be very easy to get complacent for everybody actually, and just say, oh, we've cracked it now. But business is business, inside and outside the ring. We've got to make sure we go about our business in the right way and put on a great show here on October 28th.
Obviously, Klitschko was a super fight, and people, if they are moaning about the opponent here, it's kind of like they expect another super fight straight away.
This is a great fight, and it's a mandatory. But, you know, there's super fights and there's super events. This is a great fight and a super event. And that's what happened when Anthony Joshua boxes. This is a phenomenon that you may never see again in British boxing. This is a guy who has just sold out Wembley for 90,000 tickets. Could have sold 200,000 tickets for that show. 80,000 here. This is the biggest indoor sporting event of all time. Someone gave me that stat. If it's not true, we can edit it out later. But as we understand it, this is the biggest indoor sporting event of all time. The atmosphere out there is going to be incredible.
Here in the UK?
In the world.
In the world?
In the world.
Okay, you better get that stat right. Just clarify the situation regarding the WBA as in regards to this. So, are we to still understand that Ortiz is fighting Deontay Wilder?
I don't know. I mean, look, in boxing you have to... I said to AJ, we've got to follow the rules, we've got to be smart, but you have to tell me what you want to do. I said, do you want to fight your mandatories? I said, we may have to lose a belt. I don't want to lose a belt. I want to fight my mandatories. I said, right. And we deal with them as ordered by the governing bodies. Number 1, KUBRAT-PULEV. Number 2, Luis Ortiz. No problem. So we tried to do a deal with Luis Ortiz. Actually, we said, we'll even box you on the undercard here, and then we'll box you in February. But they wanted step-aside money, and they wanted to fight Deontay Wilder and take our money. It doesn't work like that. We're following the rules. We'll fight the WBA mandatory, no problem. But this is a mandatory that was called well over a year ago. So we have to deal with this. It's a great fight. And then after that, whoever he has to deal with, he'll deal with. If Luis Ortiz boxes Deontay Wilder, we'll fight the winner. No problem.
In February?
In February, in March, whenever suits. Summer, doesn't matter. We want to fight 3 times next year.
So you fight February, summer, and then towards the back of the year?
February, June, and then November, December. So that's the plan.
Okay, so, I mean, what are you hearing about this Ortiz and thing situation? Is it?
I'm hearing it's virtually done. I'm hearing they're arguing about the money. I'm hearing Ortiz was trying to get Joshua stripped, which he was. Whatever they want to do. If Wilder doesn't want to, if Ortiz doesn't want to fight Wilder, we'll do the deal now to fight in February or March. No problem at all. If he wants, he can fight Dillian White here on October the 28th. It's a little warm-up fight for him. So, you know, but what we're not going to have is you can't just try and get stripped. Don't just, if you want to fight us, we'll fight you, but don't try and get stripped so you can get an easy title. No problem.
If Wilder fights Ortiz, the mandatory situation is done with, is it?
There may not be a mandatory, they may call another mandatory, they may call a final eliminator, which I think is probably more likely. Yeah, I mean, he'll box whoever he's got to box, and you know, the person he's got to fight right now, or he will lose his belt, is KUBRAT-PULEV.
What percentage of your card is done? If you give me
70, somewhere between 70 and 80%. We've got 1 major fight to be added, possibly 2. So right now we're looking like the 3 youngsters, KALLE, Buatsi, Joe Cordina, which I'm so chuffed for Joe Cordina, winning his first title fight here on the card. Atmosphere is going to be insane. Dave Allen, the fairy tale rematch against mine's gone back, Leroy Thomas. Then you've got a great all-British dust-up, British and Commonwealth titles, Frank Buglioni against Callum Johnson. You've got the first of our world title action, KALLE against mandatory Shoshida, 24-0 in a wonderful super flyweight division right now. And another world title added, Katie Taylor, challenging 2-weight world champion Nahi Sanchez. We've got the chief support to add, and possibly one more.
Okay, so we're assuming Dillian Whyte is in this.
Yeah, I want Dillian Whyte to be chief support, and I want him to fight. I mean, we were talking about Brazil, Helenius, Lucas Brown. He's a fight I really want to make for this card. But we'll see if Lucas Brown wants to fight. We've made him an offer.
What have you made of Ricky Hatton's tweets about?
Yeah, listen, in boxing, there's people who represent fighters. There's managers, there's lawyers, there's promoters. So, and again, I don't think that situation is particularly rosy. So some figures have been discussed in the past that obviously haven't filtered back to Ricky Hatton. He texted me on Saturday and said, I haven't seen any offers yet. It's only a couple of days ago. It wasn't like it was months ago. So I emailed him back 30 seconds later with the offer. He come back to me this morning and said, okay, leave it with me. Why wouldn't Lucas Brown take that fight? I mean, he's like, to be honest, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, he's lucky to get the chance. You know, he had 2 drug tests where one was virtually revoked and the other one is ongoing, and you know, maybe we shouldn't be giving him the chance, but we're giving him the chance and he should be snapping our hand off. But he's got to be happy with the deal. If he thinks he can beat Dillian Whyte for the WBC silver title and potentially a chance to become mandatory for the WBC world title, how can you not take it?
Give me a short list. It will be one of.
What, for Dillian?
Yeah.
Lucas Brown, Robert Helenius. I was going to say Brazil, but it looks like now he's fighting Stiverne. We'd love the Jarrell Miller fight. I'm talking to Dimitri Salita, his promoter, but they're talking about fighting on November the 4th, but I'm going to make them an offer as well. Someone like that. We want a top 15 guy to fight Dillian Whyte. We want to get that world title shot.
So can you just rule out no chance of obviously you thinking about putting Chisora on Whyte?
It won't be Chisora Whyte on this card,
no.
But it may be Chisora Whyte in February. Okay. But if they both come through 2 very tough fights.
So your plan is to box Chisora on the November 4th card
yeah.
For the European title?
Possibly. Do you know this?
You told me in another interview.
Right. And then Dillian Whyte here. And then hopefully, but listen, if a world title shot comes, even for either of them, that takes priority. If that shot doesn't come, let's do a big all-British heavyweight fight between the 2 of them in February.
You've been very dismissive of the fact that Hay and Bellew rematch will happen in December. Is that fair to say?
I have been, yeah. No, but that was in previous interviews. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying it's on the way, but there have been some positive talks.
For December?
Yes.
Out of 10, chances are it will happen.
Depends what people's ranges are. Like, what number is this? Possibly. What number is that?
6.5.
Okay, 6.5.
6.5. Are you confident?
Not really.
Okay. Backup plan for Bellew?
I think Josie Parker wants to fight him, so that's really the plan. Andre Ward's still looking for a fight, but you know, I think, like I said in previous interviews, sat down with David in Vegas and Tony, and this is the fight. This is the fight people want to see. Imagine the excitement for this rematch, anticipation. This is what we want to see. But getting them together and getting them to agree things, it's a fucking nightmare, to be honest with you. But this is the job I've been gifted with. To get these nightmares, to crush them, to make dreams come true. That's what we do, baby. We're the dream makers.
For October 28th, aside from Dillian Whyte, you said you might add, or you're going to add one more. What sort of level of fight could this be?
Could be another world title fight. Right. Could be a domestic fight.
A domestic world title fight?
Possibly. No, I don't, yeah.
6.5.
That's five. Yeah,
Five.
five.
Obviously, the same things come up all the time. Are you satisfied, pay-per-view wise? You're delivering the card if you had.
Come on, G.
I'm just asking.
It's,
Are you
it's,
satisfied?
it's the biggest star in world boxing. You've just had Mayweather McGregor for $99. Right? Now you're getting 3 world title fights, maybe 4. Big heavyweight title clashes, the best in British boxing, and the biggest star in world boxing. Come on, G. I was thinking about this the other day. Tell me a pay-per-view fight, the last time we didn't deliver value on a pay-per-view fight. Are you going to get a few people going, oh, well, that one? But realistically, let's be real.
Are you talking about before the event or after the event?
I'm talking about the last pay-per-view that didn't deliver value
Leave
for
your
money.
comments in the comment section.
No, but
please.
you can pick and... But
Yeah,
let's be honest. Like the one that you watched it and went, do you know what, I don't think I got my money's worth.
You know,
The one you could argue is, of course, BELLEW-HAYE. When was that? November 2014?
14.
What's that, nearly 4 years ago? 3 years ago? 3 years ago.
You know, we could.
I give you bang for your buck. I give you the value. You see some of the dross that is going on pay-per-view
Well,
at the
we want to
moment.
talk about it. We could have 5 pay-per-view events between
Yeah, but
now
it's
and...
all shit. So spend your money wisely.
It's not all shit.
It's
You can't
shit.
call Canelo Golovkin on pay-per-view shit.
No, that's not a shit fight. But it is 5. I've got him. But again, I'm disappointed with the hype. When you haven't got the right broadcaster, there is no hype. There's no excitement. But don't give me the other pay-per-view. Come on. And you want to give me stick? The pay-per-view ambassador, the pay-per-view king. That's me. I deliver value.
What about the...
It's true. He knows. He's nodding his head.
What about the YouTube pay-per-view and the Sauerland pay-per-view on ITV?
Come on.
Well, talk
Come
about
on.
it. Come on. Be sensible. Don't just start slating it for no
I don't
reason.
slate. Am I slating it? I'm
just-
just telling you to come on. Hughie Fury against Joseph Parker on YouTube pay-per-view. I mean, like, you're laughing.
I'm not laughing.
You
I
are
think it's a great
laughing.
idea. But YouTube, why not? Send a
Well,
go.
that's where you go when you can't find a broadcaster. But listen, I like Peter Fury. I like Hughie Fury. I hope he wins. But don't ask me questions and don't expect to get the truth. How many people are going to be in Manchester Arena for that fight? I hope he wins. I hope he wins. The promotion's been dreadful. Dreadful. You give me other pay-per-views. Come on. I know you don't like me. I know you don't like me. But let's just be honest. You know what I mean? Spend your money wisely. Spend it with us. We'll make you smile, make you happy. We won't leave a bad taste in your mouth. Give you the best of the best.
Have you spoke to anyone about, or to Carl Frampton?
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
No. Okay. Well, have you or have you not?
No.
Okay. No discussions. Just going from the last interview, you said that...
No, there'll be.
you
Listen,
know,
there may be some discussions approaching. We have to look at various people's positions.
You stay around there, you're
comment.
blending in with the light. That's it.
You know,
All right. Bit cagey, but you know, that's all right.
I haven't really got anything to tell you. It's not you know. So
So you haven't got the O2 till next year?
possibly,
That's a 7.
possibly.
I like this.
I'm gonna put something out there to you.
Yeah.
I shouldn't really be telling you this.
Oh.
What do you think about a Sunday night of boxing?
How early would you start?
Like 6 o'clock, normal.
Yeah.
We do the main event about 10 o'clock, so we're done by
Go
11.
on. What you got?
Nothing yet, but I'm just asking. I'm looking at different venues.
The only one you've done is Bellew, wasn't it? On a bank
Yeah, that's a
holiday.
bank holiday.
Yeah.
But I'm talking maybe December. I'm talking when you got a little bit of festive spirit.
Christmas cracker 4.
Yeah, baby. I'm just interested. Can you give me your views? Twitter. I'm not talking Christmas cracker size.
What are you talking like next gen?
I'm
kind of thing?
talking Christmas tornado style. No, I want to know if I did a massive show in December.
Your
on
finale.
Sunday. Yeah,
I thought your finale's Bellew though.
maybe I'm talking about that fight.
Why are you giving me less information all of a sudden?
Shit. Oh, score.
You got score. Will you give that away to someone on IFL
No,
to buy the pay-per-view?
I've just got to fill the old chopper up with petrol.
You come here on a helicopter. Such a smug bastard. I text you, go, what train are you on, Ed?
Sorry, mate. What?
Yeah, you come here on a helicopter. Nice for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're giving me less and less. That must mean things are going on.
There's lots going on, mate. There's so much going on. I can't even begin to tell you.
When will you announce Dylan Walt's opponent? When do you think?
He may not box on the bill.
Oh, leave off.
No, because we've got to do a deal with Dylan as well. It's not easy.
He needs to be on that card.
Maybe. I've got 2 other World Championship big fights I can put on the
When are
card.
you going with Brook?
Possibly December. You kind of piece things together as the
we're
interview
trying,
goes
we're
on.
doing it. It's all working out. All right, well, listen, have you got anything else you'd like to add?
No. I've got to go now.
All right. Oh, Kalle.
Oh shit.
Kalle, have you got a minute? Sorry.
It's middle in.
He's
We're
going to
talk-
try and stitch you out.
No, no, it's just
Is this
stitching.
going on?
Yeah, it's live. Yeah, this is
No,
how
it's-
in England. This is how they do
Is
it.
that
you know.
illegal?
Yeah.
Kalle, like tapping
Kalle.
up.
I know.
Eddie was just about to discuss his thoughts on the upcoming pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So we've discussed the YouTube one, which Eddie's not a fan of. He was going to go on to your one, actually.
Well, what I was saying was, no, what you were doing was, your question was, are you happy that you are delivering value with this pay-per-view? And I said, look at the other pay-per-views and tell me if I'm delivering. And you said, oh, do you want me to get Kalle in here and ask him if you're happy with his one? So if you're asking me, is this pay-per-view better than potential box or ITV box?
I think it's all a very strange look at it. You've got to look at it from a promoter's point of view, and I get that people get upset when things are pay-per-view, but you've also got to look at how you make a fight, right? So, you know, you can talk about Joshua-PULEV and his pay-per-view.
Well, who knows the purses?
But so,
Because I had to give him some money for Pulev. He was, you know, as you imagine, it wasn't cheap. You know, but
look at this $1 million here today, eh?
that's why he came with BMI into Bristol, and they were 2 hour delays.
Yeah.
But
2.5 hours on the runway.
Kalle, we understand pay-per-view
But no,
to happen.
it's just let me just finish.
Go on.
Luke. So to make a fight take place, you need to pay market rates on fighters. So if not, Joshua will be boxing in another country. You know, there is a reason for that. So if you want to bring big-time boxing to the UK, if I want to bring I'm struggling in Germany at the moment because our free-to-air market's changing. It's going more onto OTT platforms, internet platforms, more onto Sky as well. You see, even Sat1, our free-to-air broadcast, they're going more onto. They all want a piece of this internet, the future. You know, so everyone's dreaming with their sports, Netflix, and everything. But at the end of the day, it doesn't interest. If you go down to grassroots, the fighter in the gym, he wants to get paid. So if we
Every fighter wants to be a
don't get
pay-per-view
paid, you know, and in Europe you can't match the sort of free-to-air cable budgets of a Showtime and an HBO. So to bring the fights here, the big fights here, you need to generate money, and that, you know, unless, you know, someone starts writing big checks to put it on free-to-air,
As I've told you in the past, until the broadcasters see boxing as a sport in which they are willing to pay big rights fees, you're going to see more and more pay-per-view products. But the problem then you've got is a saturation in the market of pay-per-view products, which you have. I mean, we were the only pay-per-view game in town. Now you've got Joshua-PULEV, you've got Fury against Parker, you've got Eubank Groves, you've got maybe Hay Bellew, you've got Golovkin against. I mean, it's like you're getting. You know,
Could you not have done those fights coming up like Groves, Cox, Eubank without that element being pay-per-view on your specific WS?
To be honest, I've got to sort of say that the ITV deal is part of the commercial department at the World Boxing Super Series. I'm looking after the sporting element of it. But at the end of the day,
I'd like to say that this Matchroom pay-per-view has got nothing to do with me. It's part of the commercial department at Matchroom. I just look after the sporting element of. I know. I just liked it. I'm just going to use it.
So no, but ultimately, you know, the future in broadcasting is away from free-to-air, and you'll see free-to-air. Every free-to-air network is trying to get more into paid content, You know, that's the future. And unfortunately, it will affect
And
on
by the way,
sport as well.
and by the way, that's not just a decision of the promoter. That's a decision of the broadcaster.
Well, I would go even above that. I'd go. That's probably a decision, not even at sports management level at a broadcaster. That's you're going all the way up. People that even Eddie hasn't got access to. Those are the powers above.
Steady, mate.
Are you going on a helicopter with Eddie back anyway?
No, mate, I'm bus fare and Bristol BMI.
Listen, right? Don't give it that one because he's
You know
like
what,
he's texting me this morning. He's going,
hold on,
you know,
wait,
mate. This is, I can't believe I'm having to fly into Bristol here. I'm going, mate. Some of the pressers I've had to fly into for your gaffes. You fly into like Berlin and then it's like 4 hours in a car in somewhere else.
So yesterday, I said, right, I'm going to come to the presser tomorrow. Texted him. He said, oh, I'm on the chopper with AJ. There was one of those awkward WhatsApp silences where I was expecting, oh, go on, man, you know, jump
It
in.
wouldn't have gone
you know.
very well, like rival, like the opponent's promoter.
Hold on,
I did-
Mayweather and McGregor shared a jet.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I did from Adam Smith. He's like,
so he's gone to me. He's gone to me. Try Bristol. so
He went to
I'm
Bristol,
like,
they just
so I
free
flew
out
to
the
Bristol. I should have paid attention in geography. I'm on the tarmac, 2 hours delay in Frankfurt. Then I call him up. They go, oh, it's all right. I'm landing at 1:45. He goes, yeah, but it's an hour drive from this.
I was over there at Heathrow, 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, but I've got 4
Anyway,
flights to do.
they've just called me and said the propeller started. So
I'll
see you in Liverpool.
Carla,
I'll
Eddie,
see you
thank you
there.
very much.
The bus goes in a
Are
minute.
you
as well.
staying here or are you going to Liverpool?
Staying in Cardiff? No,
No,
before I go
in
home
the
tonight.
UK.
No, I'll be back Wednesday.
All right.
See you
Liverpool.
All right.
Callum Smith.
See you
Thank you
Wednesday.
very much.